990WBOB.com COVIDCast. Your host, Joe Ferro, back for another episode 4 now. My co-host and producer, Mike Sandoval. And this week, we are joined by Tyler Salk. The Tyler Salk Show in Wildside. Tyler, how the hell are you?
Not bad, Joe. How about you?
I'm hanging in there. Haven't left Cranston, you know me. So
no surprises. No surprises. So everything is normal in the life of Joe.
Yes, pretty much. I see you're reporting in from a festival that is lacking social distancing.
Yes, I am in your front yard right now, where we know everybody has been in lockdown for a few weeks.
As long as you're 6 feet away.
The person in one of these 6 houses, ironically also named Joe Ferro, has not left his little blue hut in the past 6 weeks.
I gotcha. The lady over your right shoulder is not happy about you filming her.
I mean, that kind of comes with it all, what the cameramen know. But
I mean, it also does look like she's wearing a giant. It looks like she's wearing like a Giants jersey. That's probably why she's disappointed.
She must know Fox.
Yes, related to Fox. So Tyler, how's everything been going for you during this quarantine? I know you're still doing the show. Tuesday nights, you're coming in doing your damn thing. We appreciate you for that. How's everything else going?
Yeah, it's going good, Joe. I mean, economically, I've been affected just like everybody else. We're not going to get into that right now. But the big thing is, no matter who you are, no matter where you are globally, every single person has been impacted by this. There's not one person I know who gets to do things the way that they did before. And I think that's something that we've all taken away is really unlike a lot of other hardships, because every single person is going through the same thing. There is that sense of community right now.
Yeah, I agree. I think there is a little bit more a sense of community. You drive by somebody, throw up a wave or something. We're all dealing with this bullshit together. And it's just a matter of figuring it out and trying to figure out what is the new norm. Right. And where do we go from here? Are we going to be dealing with this in a year, 2 years, the rest of our lives? Is it, you know what I mean? And what happens if there's something else like this that comes along? You know what I mean? And we're doubling up on this crap. It's a little bit scary.
Yeah, you make a great point, Joe, because how do you say when the next big illness comes, the next big virus comes, oh, well, it's okay for lives to be lost in this one, but not right now. So I unfortunately think every time you see one of these viruses go around where people are unfortunately dropping off left and right, we're going to be in this time, not just of masks, but of nothingness.
If it's going to be like that, I'm buying a cool mask with the respirators. Like,
you did do that already?
No. I don't leave I don't come in contact with anybody. My girlfriend, my cat, the guy at the liquor store. That's it.
I can see you.
Gina asked to track down write down your 5 people. I don't need to write them down.
See, I can see you like hanging out with Scott still though, just as a way to be like motivating you to not want to hang out with people, to not want to see people. No. I saw Scott. It was so bad. I never want to see another person again.
It's bad enough I see all you fuckers on this every week that I don't need to see any of you in person. I do miss hanging out at the station. I do miss you guys as much as I hate you all. But it was good to have a little vacation, But so Tyler, you're on this week. I mean, obviously, besides being a fellow BOB brother, to talk some COVID.
Yes.
And some of the info, the latest breaking info within the last couple of hours. Why don't you hit us off with some of that?
Yes, so we're hearing, Joe, that things are going to start not going back to normal, but trending in that way there, right? We know when an inmate gets released from prison, he doesn't really have freedom yet. He goes to a halfway house. That's about where we're going. Governor,
so we're going to the halfway house.
We're going to the halfway house. Thank you. We don't have freedom yet.
Yeah.
But we are on the way there. The governor saying today that it's looking like, Mike, we're going to be staying on the current schedule with the stay-at-home order expiring and not being implemented back into place.
We're going to lift the stay-at-home order and I'm going to let that executive order expire, and I'm not extending it. Why am I doing that? Because we've met all of the triggers such that we can do that safely. My goal is to get as many people back to work as quickly as possible without ever jeopardizing our public health and without ever having to go backwards to where we've just come from, which is shutting down our economy.
And that's exactly it, guys. That's 100% what you're looking at there, where we're going to reopen. When we're in phase one, as you see on the screen right now, it's basically the same thing. Oh, like you can hang around with no more than 5 people. You can't go to restaurants. Like you can't go to any more stores. Everything is still going to be the same right now, but it's a step. But here's the big thing. Let's say we reopen too quick, Joe, you're going to be in your porta potty behind me for another 5 months because
however long,
because if things spiral back out of control, that second chance of reopening is going to have to come with a completely different mindset than, oh, like things are better. They have to be great to reopen.
Well, to go back to your metaphor about, you know, the inmate being released and going to the halfway house, I feel like we haven't even got out of the even with phase one. I feel like we're still not out of the prison. We're like
we were granted for parole, because I get your analogy completely. We were granted for patrol, but the release date isn't there yet. You're still in your cell, but you know, like TBD. I'm a free man. I'm a free guy.
At some point.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Because I feel like she's been. I had a conversation with a good friend of mine today. You know, I talk to almost every day now. And one of the things that he said is that, you know, he was also, you know, we've worked in sales a good portion of our life. And Raimundo's just selling this as phase one. Phase one isn't anything. It's just like you said, it's the same. And then we have she's not extending the executive order, the stay-at-home order, but there's no concrete date for phase two, which I understand because you can't really go, you know, you got to walk before you crawl. Crawl before you walk.
Exactly.
However, you know
This is something where the stay-at-home order is lifted. You can maybe go to the beach and take a walk now. You can go to the park and not think, is the DEM or whoever going to be coming after me and sending me home, threatening to fine me, whatever. That part of it's done. That part of it's gone, but it's really the same thing. We've opened the door. We haven't passed our way through it.
Yeah.
Or we will be. When
I do kind of agree. You know, we talked a little bit pre-show how I was one of the first ones to be like, nope, I'm staying home. And I don't see things changing. Like, you know what I mean? How much are jobs really going to be opening back up? She just wants to get everybody back to work. It's the economy going. But if you're a waitress and they're opening up, they're allowing, one of the things in phase one is that restaurants to be at 25% capacity. They can have outdoor seating 6 feet apart. If you're a waitress, you're on unemployment right now. Are you going to go back and collect no tips?
And we also have to look at, Joe, the workplaces are going to be so much different. We've all been young and working in restaurants before. Cooks and waitresses and dishwashers, they come in close quarters. So what's that going to look like? Oh, like, we're going to like pass the food over the grill, but like, you know, don't come too close to the grill because then you'll be violating the social distancing.
Exactly.
No matter what, you're going to be wearing a mask. Oh, like your table says, I can't understand you. What do you have as available sides? You can't lift that mask so they can hear you better. Things are still going to be weird. They're not going to get back to normal.
Yeah, if anything, especially with stuff like that, it's gonna, you'll be able to open up restaurants. There's gonna be more business, which is what they want. They want the economy going to shit at this point.
I just want to interrupt for 1 sec, Mike, and say restaurants are part of.
Tyler, interrupt.
Well, just for clarification, restaurants aren't something that is opening up in phase one. Maybe we're looking at phase two, maybe, but for right now, it's still looking like for the foreseeable future. That's not going to be happening.
Yeah, I also feel like, all right, well, eventually when they do end up opening, I still feel like it's gonna be a long time before anyone becomes comfortable with that type of stuff. Because for a long time, everyone's gonna be too scared to do. Not everyone, but a lot of people are gonna be.
Pharaoh.
Like you're gonna go to the restaurant and you're still gonna be nervous that your waitress or waiter is gonna be too close to you. That everything's gonna be so much slower. It's gonna take much longer for you to get your food because they have to take all the extra precautions, this and that. So I mean, I definitely understand it, but I just feel like regardless, it's gonna be a long time before this goes back to normal either way.
And I mean, Mike, I know, you're a big music fan. We actually have Kevin Mars from Canerco. He's going to be our musical guest after we get rid of Tyler. And when are we going to go back to big ass concerts, dude? Can you imagine even doing that again?
2 years.
Oh,
you think it's going to be 2 years? Yeah,
I do. Because what we're hearing every medical professional say is things won't go back to a sense of normalcy until we have a vaccine. And that's going to take at least 18 months. Then you have the trial and error with that. Did that actually work? Did people actually get their vaccines? Because let's be real, how long does it take your average person to get the flu shot? Then you have everybody going to the few places that will implement them. That's going to take a while too. And by the time everything's said and done, we're at 2 years.
I think I've had one flu shot in my life. Mike, do you agree with 2 years?
So, I don't want to agree with it, but I do. I definitely think it's going to take that long, especially with bigger venues, because let's say like something like the Strain is going to be impossible because it's pretty much all general admission besides the seats up top, and not many shows are going to have the seats up top unless they're the really big bands. So if you're having more local shows or bands that are up and coming, most of it's going to be general admission where everyone's on the floor. So I know they're not going to want to implement anything because there's no way you can social distance. I heard the lead singer of one of the metal bands, Lamb of God, is saying social distancing is not going to be a thing when metal shows are back. There's no way you're going to tell people to not be near each other during a metal show when the mosh pit's going to start happening.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's not even just metal though, guys. I mean,
what's just anything really?
What's the closest major league ballpark does? Fenway Park.
Exactly.
Most known for, on top of being old, beautiful, sitting right on top of each other.
Exactly.
Right, where I love the stadium anyway, but
I don't know about beautiful.
It's great.
Historically beautiful.
It's great. Mike has it as one of his backgrounds here. It's not like the porta potties.
Dude, a middle schooler can hit a home run out of the new Yankee Stadium. Relax, Joe. Okay.
But you get my
not wrong.
You get my point, because music, sports, they go together in that sense. When we have the crowds back, and Fenway Park is the epic example of, you kind of can't really go there, at least in a normal way, without literally having somebody on your lap.
Yeah.
Especially if you're sitting next to a Fox or I don't feel like picking on anybody else, but
if you're 6 feet tall, and I mean, like, I hate that park because I am so uncomfortable. Like we sit here for 3 hours and watch a ball game.
No, I know. So since I'm shorter, like, I like it. But if I'm sitting next to somebody fat, it sucks. But I like how close to the field you are. That's all besides the point right now, though, because
nice. I don't give you that.
We're not going to be able to go there for another while. We're not going to be able to go to any big gathering like that for a while.
The first sport's coming back. I'm a big NASCAR fan. First sport's coming back, and I mean, NASCAR, you're looking at, attendance sizes like some of the great, college stadiums, 100,000, 160,000, 200,000 people. And they're going to start racing next week with no fans. So they're the first sport coming back. So at least
you got to remember with that too, though, of course, there's no contact between the athletes. I'm sure they might be close at times. There's
they're also so some of the stuff they're limiting how many crew can be there. They're using what would normally be like the RV park for fans. They're using that for the haulers and stuff for the teams. So they're separating the teams. They're only doing it in the Carolinas. There's 3 races in North Carolina, 2 races in South Carolina. Because that's where a lot of the teams are based out of, so it's easy for them to get there, and they're working with the governors and stuff like that. And they've been racing right along with the iRacing and stuff like that. I know Pal did a cafe talking about some of the iRacing stuff, and I've watched a lot of it, and honestly, you turn it on and not know what it is, it looks real. So it's pretty cool, but it'll be good to have something back. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Where I think we'll get it back. getting back where we can be in attendance, I think that's another question, not just for this year, but I think as we look at the mutations that will happen and the updates on the vaccine that they're working on that will have to happen because of said mutations, we're looking at it taking a little while. I mean, look forward to your company barbecue a year from now being the first thing that you could go to with more than 25 people.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we'll have the Zoom barbecue, I'm sure. I mean, the backyard of I said this, I think last week, the backyard at the station is pretty big and there's not a lot of us. We could spread out, but we'll see.
Yeah.
That's the boss's decision.
Just have everyone 6 feet apart. I guess we'll make it work.
I don't want to be close to any some bitches anyway. So
right, because you're scared you're gonna get pied or something.
Yes, or somebody is. I should have sent you that video. We could have pulled that up right there. Tyler's still salty about that. It's okay, Tyler. So any other COVID related stuff you wanna cover, my brother?
I mean, we've covered it all on 990wbob.com. Go into the past cast for all things that you've missed, not just the Wild Side, but the Rotunda, Rhode Island Red Radio. Little bit of Well Played, I'm assuming. I don't remember full out, Mike.
Yes, but we will be doing a Well Played Zoom version of it by the end of this week. So
breaking news on the COVIDcast, Joe.
I know, that's what we do here.
It is confirmed. So
reporting live from the porta potties with the breaking news of the day.
Yeah, this isn't the Tyler Salk show. We break news, bro. I'm kidding. You do a hell of a job. And listen, you were one of the first in studio shows back, and that's pretty cool. I'm happy to see it, and I can't wait till we can all get back to this, and I can be back in the studio on Tuesday nights managing and yelling, and
a lot of yelling.
Go follow my cat on Instagram, 401_Luana. She's been in every COVID cast so far. Just saying. But yeah, man, I appreciate you doing this with us. We definitely have to have you back and do a little bit more. And it's been fun. Just kind of seeing you guys virtually anyway. Maybe not Scott, but everybody else.
Throw Fox in there.
I still talk to Fox.
Yeah, I think you're still playing games on Xbox with them.
Yeah, you can go back through the past cast, check out the best show on 990wbob.com. It's Pharaoh and Fox. We only did a few. We will be doing more. Definitely stay tuned for that. And you know what? I might have Fox on next week just to spite you, Tyler.
Well, signing off from the Joe Farrell Porta Potties. Have a good night.
Thanks, buddy.
Have a good one. There we go.
That was Tyler Salk, everybody. I won't even talk trash after he's gone because I enjoy doing it more when it's to his face. So hopefully within the next couple of minutes, we'll have Kevin Mars, bass player for Canerco and Blood Riders. He's been doing a bunch at home. So we'll be talking to him and just kind of seeing, talking to more musicians, seeing how everything's going. We're going to have a couple, next week I already lined up another small business owner, kind of talk about what's going on with them. I won't say who yet, just in case something happens and they can't make it, because I hate when that happens and I don't want to blame nobody. But out of the blue.
And one thing, I just wanted to go back real quickly, how we were talking about sports and everything and concerts coming back eventually. I know you're saying it'll be the first sport back, but I'm assuming, were you talking about like in America or just in general? Because I know there have been teams, baseball's been going on, and it's been going on in Taiwan for the past couple weeks now.
Of course, America.
Well, I mean,
what show is this, Mike?
The only reason I'm asking is because, if you're someone that loves sports, it doesn't necessarily matter where it is.
Yeah.
At that point,
Yeah,
because
you're right.
Yeah, because I've been watching people, like I've been so bored with sports. I've been watching, I watch games all the time, like in terms of video games, but I've been watching a lot of there have been people that have been doing FIFA E-League, so all these different teams are going against each other in tournaments.
Yeah.
A lot of like the most known soccer players, they're all like streaming now. Not even soccer, you have basketball, football, you know, what was it, MLB, things like that. All these players, since they don't have anything to do besides, you know, practice when they have a chance, they're streaming the whatever game they play, which is usually the sport that they're in. Like I've seen Gordon Hayward from the Celtics. He goes hard. He goes really hard streaming.
Not to hop on my NASCAR again, but I think NASCAR was the first like organized e-league that was really put together when they, because that happened quick.
That was very fast. Yes,
we shut down and they had iRacing go. I think it was easy for them because a lot of the drivers do practice. You know, they practice the tracks and stuff because they have these huge setups with the. You know,
yeah, it's not like they just randomly bought one like as soon as they went lockdown or anything.
They had all this shit already. So I think it was very easy for them to transition to iRacing because a lot of them were already doing it. And they were probably beating the shit out of each other. I think it was more the networks that kind of had to figure out like, all right, how do we broadcast this? How do we package this? You know, how do we present it? And I mean, some of the play-by-play commentary, stuff like that, it just, you know, it's not good. That's not good. I'd rather just watch it like with all their mics live, you know, the races. And well, I mean,
the last time that happened, someone lost a sponsor. So, dude, when I saw that, I saw that. I'm like, yikes, that really just happened.
Yeah, that's just a dumb move by him. I will say, all right. So I will say, like, you've played a lot of games, you've played a lot of multiplayer, you've been in a lot of lobbies.
Yes.
There's worse stuff that gets dropped. Not that is okay at all whatsoever.
It's definitely not okay. Yeah.
It's definitely not okay. But I know I've been in some lobbies, and as someone who does not get offended by pretty much anything, I've been, you know, get a little red cheek, like, whoa, I can't believe they just said that. Like, that was a little much.
Yeah, especially because that was while it was live type of thing, right?
Yeah,
it was live when that happens. Yeah, so
yeah.
Even worse, like trust me, I've seen people streaming over the past couple of years where they've gotten in trouble with stuff like that, or they'll say something messed up.
Was it Ninja or Pew Pew whatever?
PewDiePie. He was the one that got in trouble for saying something along the line. I think it was actually almost the same thing.
It was the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So he got in trouble for that, and he's like the biggest influencer on YouTube. You know, whenever you mention YouTube, if you say PewDiePie, it's like a 98% chance somebody knows who he is.
Yeah.
Even if you're not someone who's into gaming or like that type of entertainment.
Yeah, maybe you don't have any idea. I mean, at this point, I think everybody has spent so much fucking time on YouTube that they probably know all the big YouTubers.
Exactly, and people were like, you know, I didn't mean to do it. I'm like, yeah, I know you didn't mean to do it, but the fact that like not even necessarily that word in particular, just any word that is really messed up that you know you shouldn't be saying. At that point, I mean, like you've said it before. Obviously, if you're that comfortable when you're not thinking, it just comes out. You know.
I mean, if you're gonna say it if you're not gonna say it in public, don't say it on a mic. Don't say it online.
Yeah. If it's not something that you know you don't want to say in public, you're definitely not going to say it that way.
If you don't have the balls to say it out and around people that you don't know, don't be saying it around people you don't know.
Or just not at all, really. It's
or
crazy.
Not at all. I agree, but like it's very.
It's a very touchy subject.
Yeah.
But yeah, like people used to say, like, oh, you know. People saying all this bad stuff, I can't believe it, this and that. And then you say that, and I'm like, man, apparently you haven't played Modern Warfare 2 back in like 07 or 08 when everyone was saying the worst possible things they can think of.
Gears of War 06.
Even like Halo, like just the old Halo days, Call of Duty days, especially around I say Call of Duty in particular because obviously Halo was an exclusive for Xbox. So if anyone played both games, COD was most likely, it was more universal for everybody. Like, the stuff that was said on there was insane. Like, and it was mostly kids around my age at the time, so they were probably anywhere between like 12 to 16 around there, and then even older. So it's like it was all over the place.
Trust me, there were grown ass men saying some of that foul ass shit. Trust me.
I'm definitely sure.
Trust me, because I was 27, 28 around there, and some of the stuff just uncalled for. And it's just don't be an idiot. You know what I mean? Like, just stop. But you know, it's always fun to do this COVIDcast with the mic. like I said, it's a good way for us to hang out when we can't really hang out.
Yeah, exactly. Because when we're not doing this, I'm usually just home all the time unless I'm going out for something that I need to do. I've been on Monday nights. I've been producing at the station right there. So we obviously have a very limited staff that we have. Honestly, it's usually just Pal and myself on Mondays. It's just the two of us, and even then, we're not even near each other. We'll be across the room, or we'll be outside.
I gave Tyler props, and I don't like to, but you are our first producer back, and props to you. I give more props to that than to him.
Yeah, because having not being able to broadcast, I know all the hosts that we have, everyone I produced on Mondays and Tuesdays, so I know everyone that's gone live, and they're always itching. As soon as you have 1 week where we're not going live, you have everyone blowing up your text messages like, when can we come back? I miss doing this. I'm freaking out at home, or work's been stressful, and I like to talk on the radio and stuff. Do my thing like that. So the fact that I'm able to go back on Mondays and we're able to have at least 3 shows on Mondays, you got Voice of America, Rhode Island Red Radio, and the Rotunda, and they're all great. They're all great guys who run their own respective shows. So being able to do that and make sure that they're still live, even though they're not in station physically, we're getting all the news out, we're getting all the information out, and it gives me a reason to leave my house too. So I can just sit there, enjoy, produce, make sure everyone sounds good, and go from there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and you do a hell of a job. I'm not just saying that because you're on here, but you do a hell of a job. And it is one of the reasons why we created this, what we do on 990wbov.com is, it's because it's an outlet for us to give a little bit back to our fans, to people that want to listen and have some fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they'll get to look at us for once and then be like, you know what? I can't wait till this is over.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back to just listening to them.
I can't wait till they go back to just on the radio. Holy shit. Look at Pharaoh sitting here in sweatpants again.